Welcome, race fans from around the globe. Here they come, out of turn 4, to the white flag, and it's 1 to go.
All right, welcome back, sim racing fans, to Back Talks Gas and Go series, the final round of the round of 8, going into tonight here at Michigan International Speedway. I'm Harold Darner, the executive producer of 1 to Go Studios. Checking out tonight's weather for the Motown 140. We got Lottie'sTravelWorld.com providing the weather. Partly cloudy skies, air temperatures 87. Track temp a 110 hot degrees. Relative humidity 41 degrees. And the winds are out of the west at 12 miles an hour. As you see, the flags are moving. So we're going to have about 3 minutes left in practice before we get to the 2-lap individual qualifying for tonight. As you see, CJ Angel checking in on Facebook already. So we're going to get ready. These guys down on the track side so you can see what's going on during practice. See up on the board there, we have current practice speeds with Mr. Shelton leading the way. One of our 8 drivers looking for the final 4 spots. And right him is Mr. Rule. So seeing 5 of the 8 in the top 10 with Mr. Downham, Bisnet, and McCann down in the bottom 15. About 2 minutes left in qualifying here on the 2-mile oval outside of Detroit in Brooklyn, Michigan, in the Irish Hills, just over the border in Michigan from Ohio. Not been to this racetrack. It is a spectacular place to watch a race. 2 miles provides lots of infield. Camping is available on the inside. Been in 2 different race weekends inside of this oval. Some fun racing. You have to watch Tony Stewart throw his deck lid at a driver in turn 3 and 4 for a Father's Day race. I want to say that was back in 2006, I believe, something in that nature. So 19 drivers have checked in. 17 have posted laps as we're seeing the practice time coming down to the final minute. We'll do 70 laps of battle here in these next generation Cup cars. We'll be providing you camera angles of the action throughout the race tonight and setting the stage for the final 4 heading into next week for the final race of the series. And the championship will be at none other than Indianapolis Motor Speedway, taking on the famous 500 Brickyard for the championship a week from tonight to end and crown a winner for the Gas and Go 2022 kickoff. All right, qualifying is now underway. Just want to remind our fans that this is available to you on the One to Go Studios platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Coverage provided to you by BACC. We did a thing. They're available on all the podcast services as you see there: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. You can follow them on Facebook. And so you follow them on Facebook and Instagram and Twitch. This is a little interesting. I thought it was 2 laps of solo qualifying. It's not. It's going to be a 5-minute open qualifier. Interesting. So check out BACC if you get an opportunity. They've provided the coverage of the Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go Series in its final 2 weeks. So check them out. All drivers in yellow on the board here, as those guys there and there are all playoff contenders. Underneath the One to Go logo here, you'll see fast times being put up for the session. Illustrated provided to you by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. Check them out if you're looking to get any vacation, staycation, or just trying to get out of the house. Let them plan so you can talk to Lottie'sTravelWorld.com today. A lot of sliding around, slippery conditions as we saw the track temperature of 110 degrees Fahrenheit. So right now, Jason Ricker leading the way. So Jason Ricker has the 39.406, a whole tenth ahead of Mr. Brazo. There's Greg. He's the top leader in the playoffs. Now in the third spot, Mr. Shelton moving up to the top spot among Ryan there. And his McConey setup is sliding around at that number 99. Keeps it from hitting anything. Gonna lock it up, and now that I said that, he hits the wall. Good thing he'll be able to reset that machine for a new one. Mr. McCann is currently in that number 3 ride in the 4th spot. So a minute and 20 seconds left in open qualifying. We'll set the grid off of that. They decided to do something different today about qualifying. This is the Tyler Daniels Racing Gas and Go Motown 140, Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan, presented by BACC. Check out the drivers as we're finishing up this qualifying round. There's Tyler Daniel there in that number 25 Camaro. So Jason Ricker looks like he's going to hold that top spot down as we're finishing the qualifying here. So 25 seconds, I guess, is left in the qualifier. And guys are driving around trying to see what they want to get done before we get going here. And they're sliding around, looks like. 10 seconds left. All right, time to start the grid. All right, starting off on the inside. Not sure. I thought, maybe Brian McCann pulling off the pole at the last second there. Interesting there. And then we got Jason Ricker on the second spot on the outside. Ryan Shelton, another playoff driver in the inside of two. Outside him is Greg Brazel. Thomas Rule and Jay Downham in the row number 3. Row 4 is Tyler Bowers and Dustin Velhusen. And Bob Burlow, Tyler Daniels in row 5. Dwayne Kinner and Andrew Bisnett in row 6. Row 7 is David Trumbley and Jim Downham in row 7. Row 8, Chuck McDonald and Robert Cochran. In row number 9 is Ethan Thompson and Mitch Eiding, I believe. I'm not sure. In row 10, Chris Lockwood and Bradley Hunt. And on the back shotgun of the field in the 21st spot is Ryan Walter in that number 49 ride. That is the starting grid for tonight's Motown 140, presented by BACC. Waiting for everything to get a go in the pace car to take off. You see the guys lined up on pit lane getting ready to go into action tonight. All right, pacing is underway. These drivers lined up and ready to go for 70 laps. With the weather at the start of the race here for the LottiesTravelWorld.com. Partly cloudy skies, 87 in the air, 105 now on the track. 42 degrees of humidity, and the winds are flying in from the west at 15 miles per hour. Getting ready to go to the green flag as the pace car's taking it into turn number 3. All right, flagman has the green flag in the air. Starter cam on the official. Green up. We're underway here at Motown World 5. Ricker getting a good launch on the outside, and at number 9, McCann now taking off here with Shelton in tow. The top 3 moving into the top side of the racetrack. Down low, I believe that's Thomas Rule, and he ends up sliding up to the top now. We're completing the first lap, the number 3 of Brian McCann leading the way to the checkered flag area, that stripe down the middle there. 1 lap down, 69 to go. The number 3, your leader. Ryan Shelton behind him, Thomas Rule, Mr. Bowers, and Greg Brazu out of the top 5. We continue to watch this pace out a little bit here. The top 2 starting to separate themselves, caution out. We'll check out a One To Go Studios replay. Uh, 23 looks like he's evading contact down low. Oh, and a big wreck up in front here. Wow, a lot of drivers involved there. Trying to see who that was. We get a better look here. We're seeing smoke already on the racetrack. Trying to see if I can change that real quick to who that was. Get a better shot in there. That's not what we're looking for. Number 9 of Jason. That's not Jason. That was the number 9, but not the number 9. Gonna have to try to find who that is. It's definitely not the right car here. Ethan Thompson, possibly the number 20, but number 9 on your screen. Try to back it up and see exactly what happened here. From the far chase cam, we'll take a look at it here again. The 90 skips squirrely, the 9 reacts, and it looks like the 32 of Dwayne Kinner ends up colliding with the 9. And there's a lot of drivers that were around coming off that turn number 2. So we'll just see what they all say right about that. And we'll go back to live action. Try to catch up with everybody here. Brian McCann still leading the way. So the top 3 playoff drivers, and then they go back almost a tenth to Jim Downham. Get the other drivers that are in the playoffs. So early caution out here from multiple cars. Fast repairs taken by Jim Downham, one of the playoff drivers. Ethan Thompson, Mr. Bisnet. The 3 of them taking their cars, and then Dwayne Kinner, as well as Mr. Trumley and Robert Cochran. So it looks like 8 drivers took fast repairs in the beginning laps of tonight's event. Pace cars lights are out. We'll get back under green flag conditions on the next time by. On the back stretch for the final pace. Oh, somebody spins out on that pace lap. All right, getting ready to go back. Oh, they're going to go back into caution there. They added some and a few things going down with the race control here, trying to fix some things. So the caution lights are back on. All right, so McCann, Shelton, Rule, and Bowers and Burlow, the top 5, as we continue to pace from the first caution. Back underway here on lap number 7. Mr. McCann getting it done here. Starts to get off to about a 4-car lead with the 3 behind him of Shelton, Rule, and Bowers. So 8 of 70 being worked on here. So we're just past 10% as Brian McCann continues to march away 4/10 over Shelton. Looks like there's now that race for the 3rd spot between Bowers and Rule. Give it currently to Bowers. McCann puts out the fastest lap of the race. Top 6 stayed out. We have look at Bowers sliding up and out of the way here. Falls in line behind Jay Downey. A 3-car battle here with Ethan Thompson right behind Tyler Bowers. Behind him is Jason Ricker, who is on the outside of row 1 to begin this. Number 9 on your screen is actually slotted as the number 20. He has moved his ways up to the 6th spot. That's Ethan Thompson. And moved up 11 spots currently. Jim Downham and Dustin Velhusen here fighting for the 16th spot, kind of sitting in the back here, being kind of quiet. Chuck McDonald with them. Two drivers off the lead lap is Robert Cochran and Ryan Walter. So back up to the front with Brian McCann. About a 4-car lead over Mr. Shelton. About another 5-6 cars back to Thomas Rule, Bob Burlow, and Jay Downham, your top 5. We're in lap number 14 of the 70, slotted for the Motown 140 here, this 2-mile oval. Mr. Brian McCann leading the way with Shelton, Rule, Burlow, and Downham as we're running out here on the back stretch. Looks like a single file train has developed. Looking for the closest battle is like Dwayne Kinner here on the back side here in the number 32. Working on the inside of Bradley Hunt as he goes around there. Bradley Hunt all the way to the outside wall, maybe in it, and comes back down. And this group kind of bunched up here as Dwayne Kinner moves out. Jim Downham in here. And all following Tyler Daniels is Downham, Hunt, Bill Husen, and Chuck McDonald. Kind of grouped up there. Looks like Shelton has caught the back end of Brian McCann. Let's see if he could do something with that. Who's sliding back there is Thomas Rule. See some smoke coming off the tires. And right there, that battle for second between Shelton and Rule starting to heat up. About a car length between the two of them. We've completed 17 laps. We'll go back to settling out here. We'll look for another battle if we can find one. Looks like Bradley Hunt, Mitch Eating. Chuck McDonald all in this little group here. Back to the front. So we just completed lap 20 of the 70, with Brian McCann continue to lead the way. So the top three all playoff drivers, McCann, Shelton, and Rule. And Greg Brazzo now the 8th position driver, the top four all playoff contenders. Burlow, Ricker, Bowers, and Jay Downham are in the top 8, not playoff eligible. So continuing to roll here is Brian McCann, almost to a second lead over Shelton. And then he's got about a 7/10 lead over Rule. They're starting to really spread out the field here. Bowers and Downham, closest drivers on the racetrack here. Right here, the cornflakes down there below Jay Downham. They're going to go side by side into the corner. And on by the 57 goes. So 25 of 70, and we're looking at drivers starting to continue to spread out the field, with Brian McCann a good 1.1 ahead of the rest of the field. All right, so 26 laps down is Brian McCann pacing the field 1.5 seconds over the rest of the field. And Shelton, now Ricker moving up into the third spot, putting Thomas Rule back to the fourth. So CJ Angel now, he decided he's back now. He's on the phone. We're just basically working here. 20 cars out on the racetrack. It was the 90 and the 49 off of the lead laps. 18 on the lead lap. And here at Michigan, we got a pretty spread out racetrack throughout. See if we can get that up on the blimp to show the amount of cars all around the racetrack. Single file, it looks like we're high above Michigan International Speedway, looking down onto the campground. So Brian McCann, 28 laps. I believe he's led every lap. All righty. So 29 of the 70 as we continue to march through here. Had an early caution in the beginning. I believe it was the second lap. We've been green since. So McCann at their lap 30, leading all of them as we're starting to move through almost halfway here with McCain. Now Ricker kind of moving up about 3 seconds behind the leader. He did pit at lap 4, so he has a little bit fresher tires, but was involved in an early caution. And he's kind of keeping the distance between him and McCann. So Ricker McCann, you see the dwindling here. Here comes McCann on lap number 31 down pit lane. He's going to allow Jason to take over the reins as just shy of halfway. Everybody has a faster pair, unlimited tires, and I'm not seeing anything to limit the fuel cell. So I would assume the driver's trying to get to the halfway point if able. But Thomas Rule stays out. The only driver has not pitted amongst the playoff contenders. The Rule down on pit lane right now. Following him is Greg Brazo. So 2 drivers now on pit lane amongst the playoff contenders. It puts Bistet and Trumley up into the top 6 and are the top 2 playoff contenders. So Jason Ricker, your leader, 1.5 over Jay Dunham as we're approaching the halfway point. So just completed lap 33. here comes Jason, which will be the completion of 34. We've been in the 35th laps. And you'll see, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Jay Downham staying out on the racetrack as we're now working lap 35, so he'll be at halfway. So if he does the same plan next time, he'll be able to finish the race under this set of fuel. But we did have 4 caution laps. That does change things a little bit. We had several caution laps based on some issues with race control. So we'll see how this works. So Jay Downham leading the way here. And he's got 36 laps on his tires. Fastest now is Greg Brazo, one of the playoff contenders that just came off of pit lane. 59 continues to pace the field. And number 1 of Bisnet looking like he's going to take that shot to the inside here. And no, that's not Bisnet. That is one of the lap cars. Sorry. But that was Thomas Rule that got around him, as well as Bowers now coming around as well. Tyler Bowers and Greg Brazo. And number 12. So Jason Ricker and Bob Burlow, Ethan Thompson, and Robert Cochran are all down a lap to the race leader, which is currently Jay Downham, working on the lap number 37 on his set of tires and fuel. As we're now past halfway for tonight's Back Talk, sponsored Get Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go, the final race of the round of 8 here at Michigan International Speedway on the Motown 140. Whoa, somebody hit the wall and came straight down. That was the number 12 of Greg Burlow. Or Brazo, I'm sorry, not Burlow. And he hit it pretty darn hard. He hit it sliding across the way. See where he goes now. He might actually try to get that down to pit lane. And he took a pretty good hit into the outside retaining wall. And as Jay Downham continues to move. So Greg brings it down pit lane and might get himself another vehicle. He does have one in the stable. As Jay Downham continues to tick him away, we're in lap number 39 of the 70. So 42, was it 32 laps remaining. So Bradley Hunt in number 69 is showing that he has yet pit as well. Mitch Eiding has just come down pit lane. So Bradley Hunt and Jay Downham both working the same strategy here. And Jason Ricker just came out on the track, put the fastest time down. .31 to go here as we're watching Jay Downham pace the field. And he's 5 seconds ahead of Andrew Bisnet and David Trumley. So drivers that look like they should be good to the end are Brian McCann, Shelton of the playoff drivers, then Bowers, Rule, Riker, Burlow, and Ethan Thompson. It looks like Greg has come back out on the racetrack, went in, got a fast repair, and came right back out. Still being shown the last car on the 1 lap down. There are 3 cars off the lead lap, Burlow, Thompson, and Brazo. And that was Burlow just passed by. So Ethan Thompson and Greg Brazo are down a lap. Right now, Ethan is in the spot for the lucky dog pass if it comes out. And Jay seems comfortable with staying out there. He's at 42 laps now. He is not pit at all under this race conditions, green or otherwise. And Business at Trumbull trying to do the same thing, extend out as far as they can. Last time Trumbull was down pit lane, looked like he just got himself a new vehicle. Caution out on the racetrack. I'll try to find this for you. Looking at Mitch Eiting in the 15. Oh, he slides the car down the apron, sideways, back up the racetrack into the wall, and ooh, that has to hurt. It's Ethan Thompson, I believe, that ends up being involved in this as well. Let's try to back that up with Ethan. See what he saw coming through here. Going for a wild ride there. Go back at it here. Guys coming down pit lane. So we'll see if anybody gets a free pass here, how that works. But Greg is being shown the first car a lap down. Oh, Downham in. The can is in. See if anybody is currently still out on the racetrack. Robert Cochran. And the 12 came in, so he'll stay a lap down. So Robert Cochran is a lap down. Basically, he's going to get that wave around, which will put him a lap down, as well as Greg. Greg will be the first car a lap down. At number 9, the 15 is smoking. That's Mitch Eiting, and he does have an actual repair, so I'm not sure if he had that check or the idea he had to take a tow to get there. His guys are coming back on the raceway. Some 26 laps remaining tonight. Looks like the sun has come out. Gonna warm the track up some more. So Jay Downham ends up keeping the lead in those two cars in front of him. And that would be Robert Cochran and Ryan Walter. They will get a pass around the wave car with one to go. So Walter and Cochran. Walter's being shown 3 laps downhill. And Robert Cochran, after he gets away around, be 1 lap down. As they're now just sped around the pace car, sounds like. And Jay Downham will take control of the field. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing. And when the flag drops, it will be 25 laps to go. So getting back under green flag. Downham now the leader. Took over during green flag pit stops. Brian McCann, who led all the green flag runs before the pit stop, in currently the 5th spot, as Mr. Shelton now taking underneath Mr. Downham. So Shelton on the inside, Downham on the outside, coming into the corner. It looks like Bisnet looking to split the difference between the two of them, as Downham's way up the racetrack. 3 wide, McCann on the bottom side, showing dominance in his car. Mr. Shelton blocking at the stripe, trying to slow the momentum down on the high side. McCann showing he can get it done on that bottom side, doesn't need any help as he's moving. So Shelton and now Brian McCann have gotten around Jay Downham. So 48 laps complete here. Shelton, McCann, and David Trumley, the top 3. Shelton now the fastest lap posted as he's being chased down by Brian McCann. So now McCann gets around Shelton, takes over the lead again here on the lap number 50. So we're now working 21 laps remaining. So McCann, Shelton, almost 3.5 seconds over David Trumley in the number 96 in the 3rd spot. The two run off with this race, 20 laps to go, and McCann starting to pull away from Shelton. You see here in the Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go, current race leader is Brian McCann, who led most of the race before green flag pit stops, has regained the lead. Shelton staying within 3/10 of race leader Brian McCann as they're 3 seconds ahead of the third place David Trumley. I'm trying to see if I can find some action in the back. Like Dustin here working on Chuck McDowell. It's a group here of about 8 or 9 cars all together jockeying for position. And Jim Downham with them. This is the end of the round of 8. 4 drivers will remain eligible for the championship run next week at Indianapolis. Well, back up to the front, race leader Brian McCann, followed by Mr. Shelton. Ryan Shelton there within 3/10 of the race leader. Just like Ethan Thompson has disconnected, as well as Mitch Eiding. 18 drivers still on the racetrack. There's a 14 on the lead lap. 1 lap down is Greg Brazu, the furthest back playoff driver. So Ryan Sheldon now starting to tick into Brian McCann's lead, as the two of them are now 4 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. And we're working lap number 57 of the 70. So 14 laps to go. Tyler Bowers now working behind David Trumley, as the two of these guys battling for the 3rd spot. Trumley trying to secure himself a spot in the championship 4 for next week. A little bit further back, we got Jim Downham and Dustin, as they're side by side here off that corner. Continue to march towards the end here with McCann, Shelton, and Trumley. Trumley back 4.5. He's under attack by Mr. Bowers. The 4th driver in the championship hunt is Mr. Bisnett in the 6th spot. We'll continue to move through here, completing lap number 59 here at the stripe. 11 laps to go. So now within 2/10, Brian Sheldon on the back deck of Brian McCann. They come to the line here. It'll be 10 to go. Brian McCann now starting to pass, put up more time and distance between him and Ryan Shelton. We just went under 10 or 9 laps to go. Oh, 62 being worked here. Be 8 to go once we get to the stripe. Brian McCann now starting to separate himself from Ryan Shelton, 6/10 the difference. Then Shelton, Bowers, Trumley, the third playoff driver in the 4th spot. Then Andrew Bisnett. There's a Jim Downham currently in the 8th spot. Another playoff driver, and Dustin Velhusen now in the top 10. So coming up on the backstretch here, working to continue to work in lap 64. Starting to be a half a second between McCann and Shelton. Coming to the stripe here, be 5 laps to go. Brian McCann, half a second ahead of Ryan Shelton, Bowers, Trumley, Rickard, the top 5. With 5 to go. You're seeing 5 laps to go. Brian McCann 5/10 over Ryan Shelton, now 6/10. There's like a battle brewing back here in the 3rd spot between Bowers and Trumley. Trumley has the spot for right now in that Bitcoin 96 with the 57 Kellogg ride of Tyler Bowers, continuing to knock on the back deck lid. Out to the outside goes the 57, 4 laps to go. He's going to try the high line around. Can he make it stick? Looks like around comes Trumley. They're side by side off the corner on the backstretch. He has the nose under, so in goes Trumley. The 57 goes high. So advantage to Bowers in 1 and 2, and out of 3 and 4, the advantage is definitely Trumley. And with 3 to go, watching the 96 to 57 fighting for 3rd. Well, 2 laps to go. The 96 and 57 doing battle for the third spot. We'll back up to the front with Brian McCann. Now only a 3/10 lead over Ryan Shelton with 2 laps to go. Coming off this corner here, you'll see the white flag in the air. The white flag comes out to the race leader, Brian McCann, followed by Ryan Shelton. We're on the final lap, 1 to go, presented by 1 to Go Studios for the Back Talk sponsored TDR Gas and Go with the final race of the round of 8. As we see Brian McCann fending off the advance of Ryan Shelton, looking for the race win here at Michigan International Speedway. Coming off the final corner. Oh, coming off of turn number 4, race leader Brian McCann, the checkered flag out, waves for Brian McCann, number 3, followed by Ryan Shelton. Here for the third spot, Bowers looks like has the way, blocks down Trumley into the 4th position. Jason Ricker, the 5th spot, goes to, and Andrew Bisnett, the 4th driver in the playoffs to cross today in the 6th spot. Now we'll go over the race results as we await interviews, as we'll keep an eye on Mr. McCann. Race summary for tonight for the Back Talk Motown 140. Winner was Brian McCann in the number 3, doing the burnout there on the start-finish line. 2 cautions for 7 laps. And the number of racers, 21 drivers started the race. And Ryan Shelton posting the fastest time in the number 99, 39.557. And Dustin's here. So, Dustin, do we have an idea who made the Final 4?
It's not a lock yet. Going in, it was Brian McCann. You have the list there.
Uh-huh.
Thomas Rule had a little problem. He got into somebody. He blew an engine. It's going to be close, I believe, between me and Bisnett to round out the top 4. It's going to be interesting.
Okay, well, we'll have
but
to.
But no idea quite yet.
Nobody knows. Is that it? You got to run the numbers first, huh?
Yeah, we got to wait for iRacing to run the numbers, and
okay, well,
sometimes that goes faster than what we think. But
all right, well, the Tyler Daniels Gas and Go Motown 140 presented by Back Talk. Your final results here on your screen. Brian McCann was the race winner, and then Ryan Shelton. Tyler Bowers, the first non-playoff driver in the 3rd spot. David Trumley in the 4th position. Jason Ricker in the 5th spot. 6th was Andrew Bisnett. Chuck McDonald, Dwayne Kinner, and Dustin, you were in the 9th spot. Then Jim Downham runs out the top 10. And we got Jay Downham, Tyler Daniels, Bradley Hunt, and Greg Brazo, and Robert Cochran through 15. Bob Burlow, Ryan Walters, Thomas ruled the 3rd in the 18th spot. Ethan Thompson and Mitch Eiting for the 20 driver. And I believe we had one more, and that would be Chris Lockwood. Not sure if he took any laps. Looks like he did not. So that's pretty much everybody. But Dustin, I'm not mistaken, is that the first time Tyler's been on the broadcast with us?
Yeah, Tyler's not for 100% sure on the next gen cars. He enjoys them. He's just he hasn't really practiced a lot with them, so he just wanted to kind of stay away and not wreck people. And he did good tonight. I'm proud of him. He raced good tonight, and I'm hoping he comes out a lot more with us in the future. That finish this season and then next week's season.
All right, so we gonna look in on there's our number 3, Brian McCann. Not sure we'll get with him, but he was your race winner for tonight.
Yeah, he didn't hop in Discord after the race, and he got in late, so I'm wondering if he had something going on. So
kind of cool.
He is not in Discord tonight.
Looks like like a Trans Am type of look to his car this week.
Yeah, he had a nice paint scheme today.
Yeah. And then Ryan Shelton. We got Ryan around?
Yeah, Ryan's in there. I can bring him down for you.
All right.
Hey, Ryan, that's Dustin in the booth. You got to read on me, bud?
Got you loud and clear.
All right, Ryan, it's Harold at the Wendigo Studios. You're up in the booth with us. Second place tonight. It looked like, I'm not sure, was Brian playing with you or you playing with Brian? Because at one point you guys were about a second apart and then you get cut into like 2/10 and then back out a little bit.
I think more or less just in the beginning, we were both trying to save tires, and I think he saved it a lot more than I did. And I took 2 all night just to try to get the car loosened up a little bit because it was really, really tight coming off 2. So I wanted to loosen the car up. So I kept taking 2 right side tires, and eventually it kind of bit me towards the end of the race where the car got a little too loose on entry into turn 1, which we were all having issues with that. But I made a small mistake, got to the wall, and the car just slowed down. So, I mean, I had the speed to pass them, just didn't. Just too many mistakes.
Well, Ryan, we're going to go to one more race for this, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the very famous Brickyard there, and what do you plan on getting done there? I believe the way the playoffs are is the Final Four, the top driver gets the championship, right?
Yep. Yeah. Points reset for the final race, Indianapolis. So whichever driver finishes first of us 4, will get it. So I think so far from what we're looking at points calculated, it's me, McCann, Tremblay, and Bisnet. I think he beat out Dustin by 1 point.
Yep, just got updated. I just saw to beat me out by 2.
By
yeah,
2
points. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Good luck to good luck to all you guys in top 4 though. I knew I had a hard time on Michigan. It's a hard track for me.
Yeah, it's very much a old school iRacing fixed setup track. It doesn't feel like anything. All the other next gen tracks feel very similar, but this one feels very much how iRacing used to feel like about 4 or 5 years ago.
And just my mind's getting away from me. They've not been to Michigan yet this year. It won't be until August, right?
That is correct. Yeah, they have been to Auto Club, which is similar, but
right. Yeah, I actually had the opportunity of talking with the 17 Chris Buescher at Dover in stuff I've done with Roush, and we were talking about iRacing's a little bit behind because they basically only update the fixed setups as it comes to the Cup showing up or when their officials go. So I could see that Michigan being in the fixed setup, like you're saying, is kind of outdated a little bit with a new car.
Yeah, it's really tight. It feels like it's set up for the old package that they were going to run, the 550 big spoiler. That's what it feels like it's supposed to be running here. But it puts on a pretty good race. It keeps everybody close together, and you can use any part of the track and make a pass with this setup. The high line is definitely going to be dominant. That was my biggest mistake I made when we had that restart and he went around me. I let him have the outside, and I should have let him have the inside, but you live and learn. I got next week. So,
all right, Ryan, we'll put you back in. Who you want to thank for second place for the night?
Just McConey set up shop. Got him on the car for the rest of until we get him off the first day. We picked up a new sponsor last week, so should be helping out and helping us move forward.
All right, so Ryan, we'll see you next week at the Brickyard.
Yep, thank you.
Good luck next week, Ryan. Have a good night.
Yep, too.
And do we have Tyler around? Not sure.
No, he was not in Discord tonight as well.
Okay. Well, we'll give him his props. There you got the Kellogg cornflakes. It's pretty cool, an old style ride in the Labani, color scheme on the new car. It's always neat to throw in a throwback, right? But not really a throwback week, but we'll call it a throwback. But Dustin, you guys are moving into the Brickyard next week to finally put this season to rest. You got McCann, Shelton, Trumley, and Bisnet going to reset. The first of those 4 to cross the line takes home the crown.
Yeah, it should be an exciting race at the Brickyard. I know them 4 are going to battle it out. I'm out of it now, but I'm still going to come and race and have fun, and that's all it's for. That's what we need to do.
It'll be interesting to see how the next gen Cup car handles the Brickyard, considering NASCAR hasn't been on the bricks for this is the second season now, right?
Yeah, I think they do. Don't they do the road course there at Indy
Yep.
now? They don't do the oval,
Right.
so that will be interesting. It's going to be a fun race. We just raced Indy 500 last weekend in the Indy cars. It'll be a lot different in the Cup car.
Yeah, Richard Penske owns the track now, and I was actually shocked that it doesn't have a two dates. And then when they chose the road course over the oval, I was like, and that's like balking at tradition, you know. Like,
Yeah, I agree with that.
it's like the Brickyard is the Brickyard. It's one of the oldest racetracks in the country. You know, it's like, you know, not
Hopefully down the road they add that in for the second race and get the oval back in. It'd be fun to watch.
just. I mean, I'm a diehard NASCAR guy. I'm like, hey, I'm okay with maybe new blood for road courses, but I'm not happy with this trend of more road courses getting added to the schedule every year. Think 2 is plenty. 6 is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not a big road course fan either, and you know, I'm starting to get more in road course racing here in iRacing, but. No, to me, NASCAR is traditional oval. The 2 road courses they had in the past, what was it, Watkins Glens and Sonoma, were the tracks to be. And I mean, now they keep adding and adding. We're going to these ovals. I mean, I was talking the other night with a couple guys here in Discord, and just about every track has a road course built into it now. So who knows what's going to happen here in the future?
Michigan has one, just hasn't been used in forever.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's there. But remember, the iRacing doesn't even have it in the system to be used. But there are other tracks, like you said, that do have them. But it's just it takes away from tradition. And if I was NASCAR, I would and maybe listen to the drivers and take away some of those super speedway runs. You know,
right?
Let's put it back in the drivers' hands. Like, we want to see drivers win. We don't want to see the thing we saw at Charlotte the other night, where it was like attrition. Like.
Yeah,
I got a top 5 because I didn't wreck.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch much of the Coke 600, but that's what I heard it kind of was. So,
yeah. All right. Well, we'll let you guys go, and we'll be talking to you guys next week for the final race of the 2022. I guess your spring race, spring season. I guess you'd call it, or I'm not sure.
It was just named 2022 season 1. So we'll see what they come up with for the next one.
All right. Well, Dustin, we'll talk to you guys later. Appreciate you coming down to help us out. And until next week, we will continue to work here. We'll talk to you guys. If you want to check us out, Wendigo Studios will present Area iRacing. We'll be with the Cup Series tomorrow. We're at Charlotte, actually, this week. Charlotte. On Monday night with the Cup Series. Truck Series will be with me and Ken Kushwa, the Sasquatch himself. And then we will have Thursday night at the Xfinity Series. Back Friday night with the split decision race, guys. Oh, man. My brain just went completely blank because we have one more race with them. But before they get into their finals in Vegas. Not Vegas, they're in Chicagoland. So I think they might be in Indy this week. So Indianapolis, then, yeah, that's why you guys messed me up, man, between the two of you. But Dustin and these guys will be in Indianapolis on Sunday next week, so be sure to come back and check us out. Until then, I'm Harold Arnold, Wendigo Studios. We'll see you at the next turn.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.